day. I clearly must have arrived to the US. 6-lane highways, big portions of food, and a lot of choppers and Harleys riding around. So welcome to the US. We are today in Los Angeles, pretty close to downtown, at the performance team, Maersk, and meeting the Volvo EV truck colleagues and team. So learning about their new truck, their new generation, and see what else they have to show us.
This is our first electric vehicle site that we have for performance team. We've had this operational since July of 2022. This is the Volvo VNRE. It's a Generation 1 truck. This can get you about 120-mile range in between charges. Charging time is about 70 minutes for this beauty.
I read the Generation 2 at least up to 275 miles.
We have some Generation 2s that are in operation. Most of them come in the end of this year. Those will go up to 275 miles, and they have 6 battery packs. So it's got 2 additional battery packs, and it'll get you almost double what the Generation 1 will.
And this coupled with the fast charging time, you said 80% in 90 minutes?
Yes.
That's the optimum?
Yes.
How widespread is that possible?
Yeah, you need a DC fast chargers like we have in front of us here to be able to get that range. But we've built out for these sites in Southern California specifically to make sure that we have charging infrastructure everywhere we need to so that we can optimize the range that they have.
So the network of charging stations is sufficient by now?
I wouldn't say sufficient yet. It's getting there. I think in Southern California it's probably more mature than other cities and other states. So there is a lot of charging infrastructure in and around here. It's still in the infant stages. There's subsidies, there's incentives to actually electrify the fleet, as well as legislation and rules that are requiring you to change the fleet out. So you can't go inside of a port after 2035 if you don't have an electric truck. So we're getting there. We're a lot further than we were probably 2 to 3 years ago.
I've been here since 1994, growing food and planting trees, and with a bunch of my friends. And we've been blessed here with 20 acres of beautiful forest land in the redwoods. And I just wanted a place to get away from the city, have a place to grow food, have an organic garden, and a place to meditate. We are off the grid here, so we have to maintain our own electric system, our own water system, our own sewage, composting toilets, etc. So it's, it's an endless amount of work. And even with 10 people, it feels like we need 20 people. I've grown a lot of fig trees here in the nursery that we can plant on the farm. I also have some avocado trees. We are in an incredible microclimate. It's frost-free banana belt, so we can grow avocados here. And it's always been my dream is to grow avocados and be able to grow figs and guavas and mulberries and all these trees. So many different species of fruit trees grow really well here. So this is the first solar panels that we put up here. In the morning, it'll track to the east, and then it follows the sun to the west in the afternoon. It's amazing. So,
when did you install them, and which year, and how was it before that? I mean, a lot of candles and fires? And
yeah, it was.
Yeah?
Kerosene lanterns.
Wow.
Back in the day. We would just walk around with lanterns like it was 500 years ago. When I first came here, there was obviously no solar. It was just, raw land. This here is a tuna tree. It's a giant tree. I didn't realize it was going to be so big. And it has edible leaves. The leaves are delicious. They taste like nuts, very nutty, and you can make stews and things with them. There's a leaf for you to try, Julian.
Thank you, sir.
That's the tuna.
So this is lunch, I would say?
Yeah, it's our lunch. You can eat it raw, but I think it's also probably really delicious in a stew. Wow, that is so good, isn't it?
Delicious.
For a leaf, off a tree, I mean, it's nice to know that you always got backup food. This is another amazing plant here. It's called cleavers. It's got like Velcro on it, so it'll stick to your clothes like this. You can walk around with it. It definitely has more nutrients than spinach, and lettuce and basil and makes an amazing, delicious pesto. The more diversity you have, the less issues you have with pests and diseases. So the whole idea is to have a lot of diversity in your soils and a lot of diversity in your plants.
That looks good.
Yeah, it's great. This is my house. I built this house actually in 1996 for $5,000, all out of recycled materials. I had no money then, so I had a big truck, so every time I went to town, I would find some scraps, some lumber scraps or some windows or some junk. The neighbor's house fell down during the earthquake in 1990, and so he had this pile of redwood decking, and I got it from him for $100. These windows were leftovers, and the siding was leftovers from another building, and the beams came from a shopping center that got torn down, and the flooring came from a gymnasium that they were throwing all this wood to the dump, and so it was really fun to recycle, reuse everything. Great tree to climb. The wood is really strong too, so I feel really safe on this tree. High five.
Amazing.
The garden here has probably, 100 different species of plants, a lot of edibles. And then we've got our citrus grove over here. This should be your job. I always thought that citrus likes a lot of heat, but this is a relatively cool climate, and they produce amazing sweet fruit here. It's really impressive. Bon appetit.
Bon appetit, guten appetit.
Mm.
Oh, wow.
There's a rooster. There's a couple eggs for you. There's probably more down here. She has a bunch of eggs underneath her. She doesn't want to let me have them. I'll get another one right there. We go. She's a nice bird. She's a very kind bird. There you go. There you go, Julian. I'm petting her, saying thank you for giving us breakfast. Check out this avocado tree with me.
Okay. Next challenge.
Yeah, so this is one of the oldest avocado trees here. This one's probably 25 years old. If you look closely, you can see it's loaded with avocados. The challenge the trees have is they don't get morning sun because of the tall redwoods. So trees are reaching to the south, trying to get the light, trying to get the sunlight. So the trees slowly lean to the south, and I had to put this post in to make sure the whole tree didn't fall over. So this is a new beehive that we just got. This is what the bees build their honeycomb on these starter combs. Hopefully they'll fill up a whole bunch of these and we can harvest honey. There might be a wild strawberry in here. They're hard to find, there's not a lot, but they're the most amazing strawberries you ever had in your life. They're tiny little things, full of flavor, and you'll never forget them once you have one. Just look at the color of that, it's just an amazing color.
Intense flavor.
This is the heart of the farm in some ways. This basically generates all the power to run the whole farm. There's like 10,000 watts of solar panels there. We built this frame. It's all out of wood. You can see how tall the solar panels are. So this is a timber frame barn that we turned into a kind of yoga chalet dormitory for woofers and workaway people that come to work on the farm. I think almost every piece of wood in here I milled on the sawmill. And I always dreamed of building a timber frame building, and I knew a guy in town that was a master Japanese timber framer. He studied in Japan for 10 years, and he agreed to help me build this. And yeah, we all learned a lot building this.
So woofers and workawayers out there, if you want to see this and more, check out Vincent's farm, close to Santa Cruz.
Cosmic Dance.
Cosmic Dance in California. This is where you can all find all this beauty that we've seen today.